What's up, dragons? So they give it a bit of chance to get in first. I'd say. Yeah, let people get in first. No point repeating yourself 20 times. They'll be doing the same thing. Hey guys. Why would we play Extinction? We finished it. Okay. Well, that's nice of Twitch. My viewer count went from 100 odd to 0. Hey Twitch, why are you so broken? There we go. Guys, there's like 200 people in here now. I'm gonna go tell you about this game before I start playing. Okay? So, I'm gonna be completely honest, this is a very serious game. There's probably not gonna be much joking around with it. Not gonna be very much joking about it. This game deals with some dark subject matters. Some that I've had, some that other people have had deeper and what not. Just need to wait and see. Give me designs here. Just need to wait and see how it all works in the game. I haven't played it, I haven't touched it, I don't know anything other than what I've read about it. So, guys, we're going to take this a little bit more serious tonight. So, I'm going to be honest, if I see any bullshit, any jokes about what's going on in the story, what's being said, any crap like that. But, that's basically, I just want to be a little bit more serious and take things for what, on face value of what's being read. So, oh my god, shut up one. So guys, it's a weird game that. Every time there's a pop-up it leaves a mark on the screen. So anyway, I'm gonna get going. You'll be able to see what it is pretty quickly, I think. We'll just need to wait and see for it all. You'll see. The trigger warning was a suggestion from Sully. It's a definition of possible disturbing content. Sully can do it probably a better justice than me, but it's just an early warning. If you know what a trigger warning is, then you understand what it is. So, I'm gonna get going. We'll get going here. I don't know if the mouse does anything in this game yet, so. There you go. So there you go. There's a brief note already on what's going to be on this game. Actual Sunlight deals with extremely mature themes, including depression and thoughts of suicide. Player discretion is strongly advised, and this game is not appropriate for players under the age of 18. Do you want to continue? Yeah. Why kill yourself today? When you could masturbate tomorrow. By Evan Winter. I know what you're thinking. Why keep getting up? Day in, day out. Even though your life is going nowhere. No rises, no promotion, no hope, no future. And let's face it, no love. But don't feel bad about yourself. Feel bad for exploited immigrants who have their fingers shattered while stocking shelves on graveyard shift at monolithic retailers. Feel bad for soldiers of pointless wars who have their arms blown off by IEDs. Feel bad for arthritic, long-haul truck drivers who need every firm grasp they have left for their dark roads and the bomb-crashing roads ahead. No matter how bad things get, none of those people can live the life that you can. A life of pathetic, dick-punching resignation. You're lucky. You have food, you have water, and you have shelter. Shelter that specifically includes at least one room with a locking door, an internet connection, and a computer you don't share with your elderly parents. No king leaves you too exhausted from one type of hammering to indulge in another. No bishop leaves to tell you not to bash yours. There has never been a better time in history of mankind to be completely, cripplingly, devastatingly alone. And yet here you are, thinking about giving up on the good times. Not realizing that you still have so much to live for. That there is still so much to jerk off to. After all, the world is alive. Alive with people as fat, shallow and broken as you are. Alive with beautiful women that have been lied to all their lives. Who get on buses bound for your pornography. Sorry. Alive with the seething sadness of all your breaking dreams. And I hope that you read these words and realize that there's still so much inside of you, just waiting to come out. I hope you promise yourself to live to see the day that you truly fall in love at first sight. Lock your eyes onto a look you've waited a lifetime to see. Hit the pause button, take a deep breath, and know what it would be like to be wanted, even if it isn't for the right reasons by nobody, if only for a moment. Patient transcript. Evan Winter. Doctor, Why did you set your alarm clock for 5 a.m. every morning even though you would never get up for it? Why hit snooze for 2 hours? Patient, I wanted to start exercising. I mean, look at me. I had to. Then why didn't you? I don't know. I guess the night before, you feel like tomorrow will be different. Every night, you think tomorrow is the day you're going to do it. Start exercising. Start everything. Arrow keys to move. Press here to interact. Note, try everything. X to save and quit. Sony e-reader. Definitely obsolete by now. Creative writing. University of Toronto. So I was the CN Tower. Instructor, Evan Winter. First day lecture notes. First thing you should know about being a writer is that it will turn you into a person who will find every excuse not to write. In fact, like many things in my life, the more you want it to happen, the stupider about it you will get. A lot of people will never relate to this. A lot of people don't know what it's like to be badly want something that very few people will ever get to have. I'm not talking about money or fame, obviously. Everybody wants that. I'm talking about that deeply felt desire to say something that is painful in a way that is both beautiful and true. But without discipline, this desire will melt you into a crazy, miserable shithead. I'll give you an example. I remember when I decided that enough was enough and that I was finally going to get serious about becoming an author. I went straight to the nearest bookstore to buy every book about writing that I could get my hands on. I was prepared to do anything. Absolutely anything. Except actually sit down and write. There were so many books that I felt I had to read before I could attempt to write anything that I bought $300 e-reader instead of trying to carry them all home. Of course, I also planned to actually read all the books that I had supposedly read in school. That e-reader sat on my nightstand and collected dust for years. My iPad. I keep it plugged in over here. Late night show, Evan Ryer. Host, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We're talking to author and comedian Evan Winter, about his breakout success. Now, we don't have too many writers on the show, but what do you think has become a bit of a different about your life since all this happened? Well, I used to sleep with an iPad. What exactly do you mean by sleep with? As in you would hold it close? Well, it wasn't that intimate. But spreading out with it was definitely the only reason I actually needed a queen size bed. Okay. Right. So now you would presumably sleep with women? Yes. Women. Definitely women. I mean, not every night, but a normal amount. A regular amount. Exactly. I'm a normal person now. And I'm good with that. You know, you sound like you're already married. I would love to get married. Marriage works. People always seem to think I wouldn't be up for it. But I totally am. Maybe it was all that sleeping with an iPad. They're really weird. They're really weird. Awake. Review Awake. I wonder. It's something awful forums. I'm posting this review because I'm thinking the community that has built up around this game is nothing but a moronic circle jerk. People have taken the fact that it has some false sliver of artistic credibility and blown it out to ridiculousness as the way of feeling better about something that we all know is true about video games. That they are shitty anesthetic way that we have spent our shitty anath I can't get that word out. You know what I mean. Lives. It's not that great a game. Has 10 different endings that require over 100 hours of average playtime to see. That's just a way of making you feel like you could be special, which is exactly what you never have. It's not romantic that the game deals with broad themes of loneliness and despair. You are actually alone. You're actually in despair. You know, there's nothing romantic about it. None of it includes a longing gaze into the moonlight. It's just pizza pops and perversion until you have a stroke and your parents spend their retirement looking after you. Finally, it is not filled with rich, textured characters with whose relationships and dialogue will pull at your heartstrings. It is hours of endless drivel that prefers completely childish conceptions of intimacy and togetherness for the sole and pandering purpose of tricking you into the fake warmth of delusionally believing that you relate to something that you only wish you did. And you believe these things because you are not nothing. You've never read a book that didn't have a dragon or a laser gun on the cover. You live in a filthy dark room with a laptop and a soda-stained mousepad, and you play Awake. Not because it's about human beings, but because you desperately wish you were a human being in the first place. But you're not. You're not the hero. You are the monster. User was banned for this post. Reason? TLDR. Oh, whoa. Easy now. Assembly required sawdust dresser. Attempt to open box. Fail to do so. Rip corrugated cardboard into pieces until dresser parts are exposed. Consider an insistence of two persons assembly to be personal indictment of character and discrimination towards sad loners. Okay. Mutter homophobic indignities about uppity Scandinavians and their perfect little shoebox existences. Figure out that assembly of dresser will require actual tools, not just syringe thin Allen key. Run downstairs to convenience store that thrives on overpriced sundries and for emasculate condominium man children. Buy knockoff Chinese screwdrivers for 3 times normal retail price. Assemble dresser, periodically stopping to drink alone and stretch out reinvigorated lower back injuries. Screw up assembly at the very end, such that the dresser looks completely fine, but the drawers are fixed into place and don't actually open. Turn structure around completely. Expose an rear side of dresser and remove top drawer entirely, rendering entire dresser as a giant open hole. Realize that nobody will probably ever see how fucked up this is, that it wouldn't be a criteria if any girl was actually willing to come here in the first place, and that you're probably just going to leave all your clothes hanging around over furniture or stuck in the dryer anyways. Live with it. So tired. Okay, let's go back to bed then. So, Junior Asset Executive Administrator, CEO Office to Director, Corporate Communications. Subject? No subject. Would like you to look at the transcript below and develop new messaging for transitional compensation interviews by Cobb. Program is excellent. So this problem is obviously in how your shop is telling HR to pitch it. Begin transcript. HR VP. Thanks for coming in this morning, Evan. Door closing. Sure. I wish we were meeting under better circumstances. Time and time again. Time and time again, I've said that the one thing we need in this company, besides our top executive talent, are young people. Young people who don't just go back to bed instead of waking up. Young people who don't just walk around in a trance as if they'll have no future. Young people who won't let their peers down, even when they're asked to do more with less. Long pause. Sounds like that. Sounds like it would be a shame to lose young people like that. I couldn't agree more. That's why I really hope you'll consider staying on with us, even though your compensation package will be transitioning from a direct model to an experimental one. A what? A new perspective, a new opportunity, a real show to really show us that what you're made of. I just want to be completely clear on this. You're talking about no money, right? Well, the philosophy that we're embracing is something that we call life stage based compensation. We want to hone in exactly what the needs are for each of our employee groups based on their current life phase. So, for an employee of your age and demographic profile, we know that all you're really looking for is mentorship, energy drinks, and a very high quantity of work that you really give you an exposure to the professional environment that you're looking for. I'm 28 years old. I'm not sure that demographic profile you're thinking of I fit into. There are a lot of factors there. I mean, there are people here who have families to support. And as you no doubt recall from our mission and vision statements, this is a family company. I watched 3 people who I know have young children leave here with boxes this morning. That's exactly why we're. I feel like I've had this discussion with somebody. That's exactly why they are simply released. It would have been irresponsible of us to offer them a transitional opportunity. We care enough to get them out of here and back onto the search of a paying position as quickly as possible. They have people who need them. Do you? Candidate exits. Interview ends. No. That was years ago. I gotta get up. Okay, let's go. I screwed my back out a long time ago. Now I have a fancy chair that's probably screwing up even more. I used to have a desktop. No, it's gone now. I just use the laptop in my room. I guess same thing. Yeah, if this is your first time here, guarantee this is not your best stream to be joining, because I'm taking a. I'm taking a bit more of a risk with this game because it's a subject matter I wanted to touch on because it's a very well it's looked at as very artistic and being on a subject matter that nobody normally touches on because it's not a happy subject. Right, what are we doing? What this game about? It's about this guy's life, basically. We're talking about Evan Winter and his struggle with life, basically. And if anybody's been around, knows I've went through some stuff on my own. And basically, I thought, you know what, I'm going to sit down and get, I wanted to sit down and get somebody else's story out there. Because everything I read about this game, when I seen it, I look through Steam games all the time, and when I seen this one, it instantly made me want to play it. Like, just to see what the message is. So, I mean, it's not going to be a happy stream. It's not going to be an eventful stream. It's literally just wanting me to play through this and give you guys an experience and see a subject matter that isn't covered very well in many games. And I think it's one of these ones that needs to be brought up every now and then because people, thousands, millions of people deal with this. So, anyway, let's see what next. Oops. PS3. Hell yeah. This is the only reason I even own a TV. Good choice. No cable. I tried an antenna, but all it picked up was static and infomercials. Still, I'm sure Rogers is charging me for it somehow. Unfortunately, this is Canadian, so I some of the subject matter I'm going to miss out on. So, I sort of use this as a de facto, sorry, garbage bin for anything that won't actually rot. It's full of plastic bags from Shoppers Drug Mart at the moment. Never used this. Fair enough. I'll take a shower first. Okay. Shouldn't go to work until I take a shower. Not something. So okay, that's the front door. Yeah, I know that. I know who they are. I don't know. This play may be disorganized, but there are some things you've got to keep clean. Patient transcript, Evan Winter. Doctor, what is your earliest memory of disliking yourself? When I was 15 or 16, I shaved for the first time. Immediately, my skin had a vicious reaction to it. Red everywhere. My neck and my jawline were completely covered in huge bumps and rashes. It didn't come out of my room for hours. I hate looking in mirrors or being in pictures of to this day. I understand that one. Are you sure it wasn't just poor technique? People always ask that, or at least look like they're thinking it. But no, I tried everything. It's like piano wire stabbing your face out from the inside. And it survives beyond every four-figure shotgun solution in existence. And what happened after you came out? Nothing really, but I knew what it meant. This was high school. You saw those kids with horrifically scarring acne, and it isn't like, and it isn't like this looked any better. From then on, I knew I was going to be the one of those guys that girls would look away from for the rest of my life. That would be a very painful thing to believe. I guess it was the first time then I realized that you could just get dealt a shitty hand. That there could be something wrong with you, and that no matter what, you would never be able to do anything about it. In a way, I think you were lucky to get as far as you did without learning that. Thinking of all the reasons in the world you could have learned that sooner, reasons that could have been much worse. I don't really know what to say about that. You only live life as yourself. Take a shower. Oh no, a patient transcript. Doctor. So I'm assuming these are all thoughts. Every time we go to a black screen with like a transcript and things like that, it's just obviously thoughts. Like, you're in the shower, you're thinking about stuff. You're in bed sometimes when you're not sleeping, you're thinking about stuff, so. Do you ever have suicidal thoughts? What, you mean right now? Are you implying that there are situations where you ordinarily would? I don't know. A decision like that seems like more responsibility than I could ever take for myself. Sometimes I'll stand in the shower for a long time, slowly turning up the temperature of the water until it hurts. Eventually, my body seems to adjust to the pain, and I'll turn it up again and again until it hurts so much that I can't go any further. And you think about killing yourself in this way? By burning yourself? I'm not saying that I'm thinking that this is what suicide is. I just think it's what suicide is like. So you think about suicide more than you should. You have any specific plans to commit suicide yourself? Is that correct? I guess. How often do you think about these feelings? A lot. How long have you been thinking this way? A long time. How does thinking about why you want to do this make you feel? Frustrated? Tired? Hopeless? Reminiscent? That's a weird. Go to the roof of the building and jump off. I've got a lot of things due today. I'd better eat something and get to the office. Oh, press that on. An epilogue to the weight loss book I will one day write. Before I wrote this book, I had reached a point where all I ever thought about was food. My life went from joking that nothing but pizza would give me the relief to a life in which I was actually true. Do you know what it's like to wake up in the morning knowing that eating something terrible is the only happy thing that is going to happen to you at all the day? You kill yourself at some horrific job and that you're lucky to have. When it's all over, all you want to do is forget about it. People say that you could stop, but you're so huge now that you realize you would have to stop for years and years on end, and that even then you still might not be good enough for anything or anyone. And by the time you do it, you can even say if anyone will be left. Still, you make a few attempts over the years because part of you thinks you would be a completely normal person if your weight didn't disqualify you from being one in the first place. Sometimes it even goes well, but in the end, you're still miles behind. And that one shitty, feel-good thing you've always had starts calling you. It's calling you when you realize that she isn't interested. It's calling you when you're out with people who don't have to live this way just to be normal. It's calling you to go out to eat with your parents, and you realize with the disappointment you are to them. What a waste of all that energy you were all the time. It's calling you. Nope. Why did I turn off the vibrate? Hello? Everything is great, Mom. Yeah, of course I'll have dinner with you guys this weekend. We can eat whatever you want. It doesn't matter to me. I gotta work. Gotta go to work, Mom. I don't know what's going on with either of them. No, I know. I know. Okay. Bye. Don't go to the roof. I thought I had something to eat here, but I guess not. I'll get something on the way. Leave the apartment, yes. Uh, really? Can I... Like that talk about the suicide thought. That's, Okay, so... Yeah, this is, definitely interesting. Do you want to save your game? Okay, yeah, better do that. Thank you. That moves off the screen. Huh. Street, we're going to work. Patient transcript. Evan Winter. Doctor, do you understand that? In many ways, you're very fortunate. What do you mean? You've had access to education and security. You're a white male. There's a great deal of privilege intertwined with nearly everything about who you are. I don't know. I feel an awful lot like a member of a club in name and sight only. I don't have some friend with a cottage. I've never participated in any mud-based fitness challenges. And there are no adorable blondes meeting me for blind days at ironic board game cafes. Those aren't the types of advantages I'm talking about. I know. But they are the types of advantages that education and security make worth having in the first place, aren't they? What would even change if I lived some kind of cart life for $7 an hour? What do you think? I think I would just mean being openly rejected by the types of people who only pretend to accept me now. And that isn't worth something. Oh, sorry, and that isn't worth something? All I'm talking about is being something, but not being a part of it. Coffee? Fruit? Thanks. Have a great day. Recent transactions. Let's see. Groceries. Breakfast counter. Quick Mac. Chicken wings. Breakfast counter. Pizza Town. Pizza Town. Bagel bath. We're helping you save every day. Please note that ATM fees have increased. Okay, let's see. Savings. Present. No transactions recorded. Video game underground. Digital ultra market. Note, payment is overdue. Checking balance. Almost 3 grand. No savings. Credit card bill. Look balance. Yeah. Please read this if you are a young person. By Will O'Neill. Will O'Neill. This is the man. This is the guy that actually did this game. It's actually, I'm assuming that's exactly who it is. Like, a creator of the game, so this. I know he wrote everything else in here, but he's actually titled himself in here. If I have any fear about putting this project out, it's that somebody who is in the midst of a difficult time growing up will see this game and think that it applies to them. I'm not going to say that I was not a lot like you. I probably was. I've struggled with feelings of anger and depression since I was very young. No more than 12, 13 years old. I don't need to get into what problems both causing and caused by this were and still are. I think the things that happen in this game make them pretty clear. It's also pretty clear where all of this is headed. But listen, the fact that you're a young, the fact that you are young means in and of itself that you still have a lot of time to change things. That doesn't mean you're going to get everything you want, but I promise that you can do a lot better than you will if you give yourself over to despair. It's when you get into your late 20s and early 30s, like the protagonists in this game, and like me, that a lot of the choices you made earlier can start to come seriously into play. A lot of doors begin to close, a lot of things start to go on without you. I've been the way that I am my entire life, but let me tell you something. It's different now. And I'm seeing more and more how things will not only get even more difficult over even more time. In the end, that's what this game is about. An end game. Somebody whose pain has slowly risen in excess of their ability to deal with it. Somebody whose options have become totally disconnected from fantasies and regrets that they can't turn away from. This game is not a game. It's a portrait. I've credited it to document something that I think is human and beautiful and real. And if you appreciate that, great. That's what art is. But don't get it twisted. It's about a 30-something corporate dead-ender with no youthful energy, no people his own age who haven't moved on in life that he can turn to, no time or money left to change or undo any of those things. I don't care how fucked up you think your life is. If you aren't at least 25, that ain't you. So don't you fucking dare. I really like that statement. I really did. That's a great, just a fantastic way to read it all.